Happy Good Friday to you. I have the fifth word of Jesus from the cross, I thirst, taken from John chapter 19, verses 28 and 29. I invite you to hear these words. After this, when Jesus knew that all was now finished, he said, in order to fulfill the scripture, I thirst. A jar full of sour wine was standing there, so they put a sponge full of the wine on a branch of hyssop and held it to his mouth. I thirst. Jesus had been arrested on Thursday night, and now it is Friday, and he's hanging from the cross. He's at the point of death. The work has now been complete. However, he has not had anything to eat, nor drink, nor sleep since Thursday night. Since his arrest on Thursday night, he has been a constant victim of taunting and beatings and mistreatment. He has been brutalized. Oh, yes, he has suffered greatly in his body to such an extent that it would be hard to recognize him physically. His body is in bad shape. In fact, the late theologian Dr. James Cone would say that the crucifixion was nothing more than a lynching. Yes, a lynching with divine and eternal purposes, but a lynching nevertheless. He had been brutalized as if the crowd that had gathered were like spectators enjoying the brutality that Jesus was suffering. And now he comes to the end of his journey, and from the cross he declares that I thirst. Yes, been brutalized and now dehydrated. He says, I thirst. Now, I believe that physically he thirsted because he was fully human and fully divine. Of course, he was thirsty, but I believe his thirst ran much deeper than that. I believe he was thirsty to see all the nations of the world receive this marvelous gift of salvation that he has offered to all of humanity. Oh, yes, I believe he was thirsty. He was thirsty to see justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Oh, yes, I believe that he's thirsty to see that all the people of the earth, regardless of their background, regardless of their income level, have access to healthcare in the earth. If there's no sickness and disease in heaven, there ought to be some affordable healthcare here on the earth. Oh, yes, I believe that he's thirsting for justice. Yes, justice for the least of these. Oh, I believe that he's thirsty. He's thirsty for us to come to the point where we will love our neighbors as much as we love ourselves. That's the ultimate challenge of discipleship. I believe that he's thirsting for humanity to recognize that all human beings are made in his image and in his likeness, have value and have sacred worth. It is a gift from God that has been bestowed upon us. And every time we mistreat each other, we mistreat children of God. Oh, I believe he's still thirsty. Oh, yes, he's thirsty that the nations of the world will offer up godly leadership, men and women with integrity who will have their steps ordered by the Lord in their decision making process. Oh, I believe he's still thirsty. He's thirsty for the disciples of the world to move beyond Sunday morning and to practice what they preach, to practice what we claim we believe, for it's easy to declare what we believe. It's another thing to practice it. Jesus warned us to count the cost of discipleship. I think he's still thirsty, and he will be thirsty until all the people of the world declare that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God.